This is Jesse Rose, and you're watching Toasted live from Miami.
Jesse, welcome to Miami.
Thank you.
How are you?
Very tired.
And you still have to play for 9 hours, I hear.
Yeah, tonight, 9 hours, Koyo Taco.
Come on.
9 hours back to back. I'm playing with Junior Sanchez, Claude Von Stroke, Justin Martin, Harvard Bass, and Ardalan.
Holy shit.
It's going to be a big night. 150 people capacity.
You're joking.
For real.
Oh, come on.
People will come for 3 hours, 4 hours. The next people will come.
I think there will be a massive line outside.
I mean, it's a festival lineup. We like to give.
So you have a festival lineup for 150 people.
Yeah. It's
a bit overdoing it, don't you think?
I don't know. I didn't. I just literally had a venue and I was going to play all night and I invited my friends to play.
Well, maybe you should do that more often on a bigger stage.
I've been doing it.
I know, just kidding. You've been making music for a long time. You've seen the dance, I call it dance industry, grow and evolve. What do you think of it as it is like right now?
I think it's exactly the same as when I started 20 years ago.
Come on, there's like 5 Dutch guys who rule it. That's new, to me at least. Who used to be the fact that the Brits had all the top DJs.
Who are the 5 Dutch guys that run it?
Chesto, Martin Garrix, Armin van Buuren, Afrojack, Hardwell.
That has absolutely nothing to do with what I do.
No, but you're in the same industry.
It's as close to what I do as Rihanna. Like, I play underground house music. We don't do it for money. We do it because we love what we do. If we make money, it's great. Sometimes we play more clubs, sometimes we play less clubs. Sometimes we play big festivals, sometimes we play small festivals. It's irrelevant to me who the biggest DJ in the world is.
Hey, 2 tracks with Seven Davis Jr. on this album. Outstanding collab, I think. Beautiful voice.
Thank you. Yeah, he's really like one of the guys over the last few years that I was super excited about. He had like a Moody Man flavour to him, but also like a sort of Derek Carter-y vibe at the same time. And I heard his first record and I tweeted at him and he tweeted me back. I was very surprised, and he came to my house and I gave him a track, and about a year later he sent me the vocal back, and that track's called It's Not Over, and I would say it's my favourite production that I've ever done.
I was actually really happy to find that you just released an album, because a lot of DJ producers nowadays just release singles, if you're lucky maybe an EP, but like I always say, I'm a music lover, and if I like something I want just more of it, not just one song.
Yeah, I think it's definitely not a monetary thing to make an album. It takes a lot of time. Actually costs a lot of money to do an album when you put the mastering and all the bits into it. But we've done it for the love the whole time, so it was just something I fancy doing. And a perfect time to do it. If you're retiring, it's a lovely thing to say, hey, have this thing. And
but you are not retiring, right?
I'm retiring. In fact, that was my last production. It came out 2 weeks ago, the album, All Right Mate.
Junior Sanchez told me this, and I thought he was just pulling my leg.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm fully retired. I'm on my final tour, so I've got like amazing, going to play all night long with people like Seth and Eats, and all night long at Robert Johnson with Roman Flugel. And
sucks, man. Why stop?
That's literally like, you can't say that sucks. That's like the dream, such a dream year to play with all my friends. And like, it's a celebration to me of the last 20 years. And I think like, you shouldn't do it for the sake of doing it. I love what I've done, and it's been amazing, and I still love it. But I've made 300 records, done 100 remixes. I've been a resident at Panorama Bar, I've DJ'd all over the world. I've been so lucky. I was lucky to, grow up with Jamie Anderson and bump into Switch, and my life has been amazing. And I thought, you know what? You've really lived your dream. Go and do something, the next thing.
So what are you going to do then?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I actually don't know the answer. I know I just got to a point where I don't want to wake up every day and think about myself. Like every day I have to wake up thinking, what shows am I doing, where am I going? It's about me the whole time. I want to wake up and think, how can I help someone else? And I've really loved bringing a lot of artists through the label.
You could have taken a break, maybe a holiday. You know that concept?
Ironically, I took 3 weeks off last year, and that's where I come up with the concept of retiring. So actually, I did take some time.
So you like holidays?
It was the first holiday I've had in 20 years.
Jesus, man.
I mean, I'd had like 5 days and 7 days, but I'd never been in one place for 2 weeks, and it was the first time I switched off my phone in my adult life.
Hey, but why don't you? I mean, I can imagine that you're tired of traveling, and maybe you're tired of this whole music world as well.
No, I love traveling. It's actually like one of my favourite things about it is getting on a plane. I love planes. I love airports. Like, you get on a plane for me, and I'm very lucky because I get to fly business or whatever, and I'm like lying there, and it's just like, I love it. It's a beautiful part of the job, and I love DJing. But I think as well, life is about pushing yourself. You've got to try new things. You can't just stay content. And so that's the point. Look, when I was killing it, I had a moment of kind of killing it in London with Switch and a bunch of guys, and major labels were trying to sign us, and that was a moment where we could have gone one way or the other. And I left and I moved to Berlin, and everyone went, how can you do that? That's insane. You're about to you're blowing up or something. And I was like, I don't really feel it. I want to go and play in this underground club called Panorama Bar. It's fucking cool. And that's what I did. So I think you should always take risks. Your instinct is always right. And I had one of the best years of my career last year. Put out the Fabric compilation. Got put into this BBC Hall of Fame. It was a great year. So I felt like it's a perfect time.
Another track that I love, Believe. Eva who?
So Eva is a girl from London, and basically, unbelievable. The first demo I heard from her, I had tears in my eyes. She just killed it, and so I said to her, "Look, I wanna produce you." I was really excited about it, and she said, "I don't want to be a singer," and I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "You know what? I don't want to be famous. I don't want the idea of someone giving me a good review which could change my personality, or a bad review." She spends a lot of time in Calais, where they've got these, this big asylum situation, refugee camps. And for her, it's way more important to do something that's actually changing the world. But she honoured me by coming in the studio and said, "Look, I'll go on a couple of your records, but I don't want anyone to know my real name. I don't want any pictures going out." And it's quite a moving. Wow. It's very moving in a way, you know.
Very amazing. Love the lyrics as well.
Yeah, I co-wrote that as well. I was quite happy with that.
Do you have any regrets looking back? Since you were retiring, it's only, probably a good thing to look back and ask for your mistakes as well.
No, I actually don't. Because obviously, not obviously, but it's a kind of a common question to be asked, when you're retiring, yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, exactly for that reason. But I can't really think of any. I took a long time to break. I spent a lot of time when I was 14, 15, 16, promoting club nights and more that side. And I was co-producing, and it was Switch that made me go, no, you've got to produce the whole record on your own. So I didn't sort of break. It took me 10 years to kind of start DJing around the world. But I think that would maybe be a regret, but that's also the biggest success, because by the time I broke, I realised, damn, I'm so lucky. I also learned how to DJ, and there's a semi-destiny to this path, isn't there, in a way? And so, no regrets.
You're afraid that you're going to sit at home in your fantastic house in Los Angeles, sitting there and thinking, okay, right now, there's the Miami conference. It's going to be fun. I could play for 12 hours with all my friends in a club that holds 25 people, and you're just sulking at home.
Well, if I'm sulking at home, I've done a very bad job of moving my life along, haven't I? So I'm hoping that whatever I'll be doing next will be, moving around and moving on planes and constantly. I would, if it's not, then I'm not as creative as I thought I was. Absolutely right. And
so you already do have plans?
I mean, look, there's about 101 things that I would like to do, you know, and
Making a movie?
no, you know, my girlfriend wants me to be a movie producer. I haven't really thought about that one. I mean, I've written a book about DJing, and I've got like an agent for that, and we're working on that, and just a bunch of different stuff, whether it's like A&Ring, whether it could be management, whether it could be, you know, it could just a hotel project, it could be anything. It literally could be tech, it could be like, the problem is every day I wake up and I think I want to do 100 things, and then I'm like, I can't, because if I do, this impacts on this. So I've had like a bunch of meetings and like meeting a lot of people, and you know, I've been really inspired by my old manager was Mark Gillespie, who looks after, you know, Calvin Harris, but also like Frank Ocean and Travis Scott and stuff like that. And like being around people like that is really inspiring, because there's just no end to what is possible and to things that are going on. And I think that's really sort of been an inspiration to wanting to move on.
Another cliche question. Best gig you ever played?
Oof.
One.
Panorama Bar. The first time I ever played there, I made a record that day called Stop, Look and Listen with Henrik Schwartz. We'd never worked together. I went to his house, we made this track live. It was 110 BPM. We made it in like 5 hours, played it all live. And I said to Henrik, I'm going to play at Panorama Bar for 4 hours, 5 hours tonight. I'm going to play it as my first record, whatever happens. I turn up at Panorama Bar, it's like 4 a.m, rammed. The guy before me is like playing techno. And I literally like take it down and I start with this slow record, Stop, Look and Listen. And I'm thinking this is going to go like so bad, 110 prime time. And everyone went nuts. It was literally one of the moments of my life. And yeah, that record actually now Henrik has made into sort of a strings version of it. It had a 68-piece orchestra or something, revert. So that's kind of a beautiful end to that tale.
Best country you ever played?
Country, that's a tough one. I had a great one actually at Queen's Day years ago at the Olympic Stadium, outside the Olympic Stadium.
Oh, in Holland you mean?
Yeah, in Amsterdam. Yeah, in Holland. Yeah. I thought that was like an obvious one.
Well, there are more queens and there are more countries.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know does anyone else have a Queen's Day? I don't know.
We don't have it anymore in Holland. We have King's Day now.
Exactly. Yeah. But that was amazing. Like we played like 2 till 3. We had to fly to another country. We were like, this is going to be terrible, and there was literally like 20,000 people going nuts. So yeah, Holland's always look. Everywhere in the world, every city has a club. It might be 150, it might be 2,500, it might be 5,000, but every city, major city, has a club that loves the music that I love, and that is just amazing, isn't it? So you can't pick a country.
Last thing, you're going to play for 9 hours with the people you love, your friends. 2 things. How do you keep standing for 9 hours? I mean, I can't even sit for 9 hours.
I honestly don't know, because I don't take drugs, which is pretty mental. The longest set I did was 24 hours, kind of on and off at Panorama Bar. Again, we used to do a night there, and it started on Saturday and it finished on like Monday morning. And that was pretty tough. Apparently, like, my assistant was underneath me holding me up, and I had no idea. I think basically, if it's a great night, you're playing for hours, you don't realise. If it's not a great night, an hour can feel like 10 hours. So we kind of picked a venue and we put it together that we could have that great night as much as we could prepare.
You did a lot of collabs, you did a lot of records, you did a shitloads of remixes. Is there one collaboration or remix that you'd love to do that you didn't do?
Ooh. I was quite sad that I didn't get to remix the second track, I don't remember the name, of the last Rihanna album. And I really, really wanted to do it. And it didn't happen, and I wanted to do that. But to be honest with you, not really. I mean, like, I'm content.
Thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for your music and passion.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.